sprinkle cookies. What, no fucking TV now? Hey!
Maybe she's from Jersey.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Maybe She's from Jersey. Today we have two very special guests, and we also have a little fucked up thing with our Pro Tools and mics, but we are learning, so by the 50th episode, we'll have this so down pat. We're your hosts, Jackie Neese.
And Alex Curtis.
And would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
I'm Allie. Happy to be here.
Hi, everyone. I'm Cass, another Jersey girl with the girls today.
Today I went to Cafe Dupain. I don't know. I'm not French. And we each got coffees. Honestly, such a cute find. Never been there before. It's in Lawrence, if you're ever curious. They had a baked section that I would die for, but like we were on a mission for coffee, so I didn't treat us. Sorry. But yeah, so I got my normal cold brew. My little got the same thing as always. What did you guys get?
I got a cold brew with almond milk.
Also boring.
And I got an iced coffee with hazelnut syrup, which
A little less boring.
No, but I'm a big Starbucks drinker, and so I love this because it wasn't like sometimes like the homemade, not homemade, but like they're too bitter.
That's why we do this.
Yeah.
Because who doesn't love Starbucks? But there's so many other good coffee shops that never get like any sort of.
I love that.
Light.
It's a good plan.
All right.
They're endless. The amount of places you could go.
She has a packet right now.
Always.
We're disgusted.
Did her homework.
So this episode I'm stoked for because we're gonna be reviewing the Real Housewives of New Jersey. Obviously we're housewives, like to be.
Which one of us?
Making.
So
We're your future New Jersey housewives.
On our way.
Producers,
Yeah,
Gary,
hire us.
Larry, whoever you are, let us know. Okay,
Yeah.
we're ready.
Andy Cohen,
Andy.
check us out.
Andy, the second I get a ring on my finger, I'm following up.
Can I just be on it without a ring on my finger? Can I just be the fun aunt?
Yes.
Yeah, let me be the Bethany that has it come up and is just now multi-millionaire.
It's gonna happen. So we're gonna review as much as we can. We have limited time frame because we could probably talk for days. So we're just gonna jump right in. I don't know what episode you're at. This could potentially be a spoiler alert. Okay, so okay. We need to
You
start.
sounded like Teresa then. Okay.
We need to start like somewhere tragic. So we picked obviously the most recent fight that we saw, which was when they were in Nashville, and we thought it would be fun to work our way backwards of like what led to that.
Cool.
So first comes first. You can ask your question. I really liked it. Whose team?
Oh my gosh, yeah, because I know from I'm like such a diehard Bravo fan. I just like ingest it into my veins. I could do a dissertation. So like I'm in all the Facebook groups, like I'm all over Twitter, and the tides are turning. The Teresa stans are finally like turning on Teresa, which like I've never seen happen before. People have been with her since jail, since before jail. But
I love the jail Teresa.
the question is
Me
like
too.
who are out of this group, who's a Teresa stan, who's a Teresa apologist, who is over Teresa?
I'm over.
I don't know where I stand because I do have to say I feel so connected to her just watching all the shit her family went through.
Me too.
Like, I give her so much credit for also putting that on television. You gotta have balls. Like, that is, holy shit. I mean, everything.
I'm right there in the middle, too.
Yeah.
She's the OG. She started it. She's been there since day one.
Right.
Out of all of the women there now, she's the first one. And I'm with you. I'm right in the middle. Some of her behavior isn't the best, maybe, but she is the OG, so we have to give her some credit still.
And she does know how to make good reality TV.
Yes,
I
she's
have to
great
say,
at it.
it's very interesting because she does things and I'm like, what? Like,
You could watch
how did
just
you-
Teresa be Teresa.
Yeah, exactly. She could
Like
have
her
her own
driving
show.
around the kids was always
Right.
my favorite.
Right.
Yes.
So
But
I'm in the middle.
Yeah, and I think what makes for a perfect housewife is like some sort of growth. Like you have to see them that's why I think Dorinda, I don't know if you guys watch all the franchises, but I feel like that's why Dorinda, my favorite, left because like she didn't see any growth. Like she was just like falling into like alcoholism. They were like, you gotta go. Oh
my God.
And
Right,
Teresa, like she's been through all this and she's still the same damn Teresa.
Right.
Yeah.
She's such a hypocrite.
But I do love the relationship with Louie. Like, I'm a firm believer in, like, because she did lose
Said
both her
no one
parents.
ever.
Like,
What?
Literally.
I know.
Yes.
Wait, let me explain. Like, I just think he makes her really happy. Like, on or off the show. Like, I get the vibe that something works there for
You
each
probably
other.
love Sam and Ron too.
No! No, not Sam and Ron. Ron, I would love to sit in on one of his therapy sessions, to be honest. But no, I was not a Sam and Ron stan. I'm more of a Pauly Vinny kind of stan. But I just feel like something works there for each other, and I'm really happy for her because I truly think like her parents sent him to her.
Yeah.
Regardless of what that means, like I'm a big firm believer in like.
No.
Watch our spirituality episode because I love that shit. But
karma
I do
sent
think
him to her too.
I'm just like, I'm so mad that he doesn't have like the cleanest past.
Right.
Like, couldn't she find like a juicy meathead that was like, they look like the little perfect couple, but
Right.
like, couldn't he not have baggage like for once for her?
I feel like with the start of the season, she was expecting, like, she's gone through it all, right? She's gone to jail, her husband, like, the whole thing, her ex-husband,
literally
the kids.
done it all.
Yeah, and, like, this was, like, her season where she was like, all right, this is my season, I'm in love, I'm in my love bubble, like, everyone's gonna support me, and then that's not the case, and all this stuff came out about Louis, and now she's like, this was not the season I was expecting.
Okay, so let's
They
start
mentioned
with
it
that,
all.
because all this stuff came out about Louis. We're gonna spiral, but it's fine. All this stuff came out about Louis, and like you said, baggage galore. But do we think it's true? Like the shit that came out about him, is there any truth to it? Do we think?
Yes.
Yeah. Me too.
I'm indifferent still. I mean, I do have to believe there's something there because he wasn't denying it.
Right.
Right.
He was
you know?
deflecting
Right.
every time they brought
Right.
it up. He
Yeah.
never really directly responded to it, and even when he did directly answer a question, it was like warped into another, but did you know this?
Right.
But this also happened.
Yeah,
Like,
he's a smooth talker almost.
Yeah.
Right.
I was saying earlier that like if they would have addressed it completely differently, it would have been a
the whole
non-issue.
season would be
Right.
done.
Yeah,
There
like,
would be
but-
nothing to argue
Right.
about.
They both reacted so crazy. You had to
Yeah.
react to them in a crazy way and be like, are you not hearing this? Like, this is bizarre.
One thing I will challenge is, and I'm not justifying if any of that stuff about him is true, not justifying that at all. Like, that is fucked up, like, you know, to an extent. But I feel like he's had a lot of personal growth himself.
Yeah.
Like, just in the conversations, you can tell, like, I don't know, therapy or whatever, but he's definitely worked on his mental health. And I have to applaud that at least, because the way he even talks with Teresa, or even when like the Gorgas were sitting with them and they were like, let's go around and say what we enjoy. Like, you can tell there's a lot of growth in that human, which I think is very
Yeah.
admirable. So once again, I'm on the fence because then again, like, there's still no justification, but I guess that goes into like cancel culture and things like that of like what is actually acceptable, and you know what I mean? Like, what is like, okay, that was my past and like I'm a different person, and then what's also just like, no, that was just fucked up, whether you're a different person or not now, like that was fucked up.
And
So
like, what was she justified in being so pissed that everyone was asking questions? Like, so on the show, obviously there's drama and there has to be, but off the show, they all talk about it on social media. They're friends.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm just confused. Like, is this really for TV, or is this real shit happening? Because if that was my friends consistently questioning my boyfriend, I'd either one, be like, drop it and they should drop it, or two, I would answer the fucking questions.
Right.
Because they're concerned out
Right.
of love. Like, these aren't things like, oh, you know, he cheated on his wife 17 years ago and that's why
Right.
they got divorced. It's like really bad allegations. They're not normal.
Right.
They're not like normal bullshit. So I would be concerned.
I mean,
Right.
Teresa on paper, it doesn't look too good. She was in jail.
Yeah, but once you read into it, you can tell
Yeah.
that she was definitely taken advantage of.
yeah.
I feel like her not addressing it is causing more of the drama.
It's the whole show.
Right.
Yeah.
She's not answering the questions. She's not trying to find out the answers either.
Right.
And that's what they're worried about. They're worried for her. Like, Teresa, maybe you should just look into it a little bit.
Yeah.
And just see, is it true? Is it not true? Before you end up in that situation.
Right.
And I feel like that's where the girls are trying to help. But in the end, it's just causing more
Wait,
drama.
I saw something online, not to cut you off, but this just reminded me. I saw something online that when Margaret was going on about the blogs and she was like, I don't have time for the blogs, apparently like Louis' ex-girlfriend was at her mom's like reunion party, like her 75th. There was something online I saw and someone literally showed a picture and they're like, this is Louis' ex. Now, I don't know who Louis' ex is. I have no idea, but that was going around. Do you think that's true?
Probably. Margaret's a snake.
You think so?
Yeah, kind of.
Margaret's my favorite.
Margaret's one of my favorite too, I have to be honest. But I think she knows
Jersey's
how to
a
like...
big town.
She does know how to stir the pot, but in a very calm way.
And Teresa's been blaming her for all of this stuff about Louis coming out.
Okay,
Yeah.
Hypocrisy 101, literally spreading rumors about other people's marriages and relationships, and then the second something comes up, like, it's not like, for instance, no one dug this up, it was just out there.
Right.
Yeah.
And people are like, hey, this is a little weird, are you okay? And she's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Don't do that. Don't even say. But, like, she literally almost ruined a marriage.
Yeah.
With season before.
Yeah, like, with, like, little to no proof.
And Danielle, I mean, the reason she's a star is because she was bringing up somebody else's past and flipped a table about it. Like, and really coming off this season where she went so hard for Jackie, that's why it's so hard to, like, kind of see Teresa's anger about all this. Because it was just like, you just put someone else through it. Like,
Right.
And that...
Pull your pants
we were
up and,
literally
like,
just
go for
talking. We love Evan. Like,
yeah, I love
hurt my
Evan.
soul. I was like, I hope that's not true because I will be so upset. Like, not that I was in this relationship, but I just, like, he just is so, like, wholesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have been really, like...
I don't think any of us believed it.
No.
Yeah. And I think also his reactions, he wasn't like, I didn't do it. Like, he was just like, it's a fucking
Yeah,
rumor.
they were actually, like, hurt about it.
Yeah.
Which, like, made you all feel hurt
And
about
it honestly makes it look more truthful because they were like, don't even bring light to it because it's not true.
Right.
Versus this situation, no one's addressing it. They're almost just roundabout talking. And, like, Louis can put it to bed, but it's almost like he's just not.
And Miss Gia, who's like a big mouth this season, isn't saying a word about it. Like, what?
So, yeah, exactly. So Gia's, like, concerned that they're moving in too quickly. But then, yeah, these videos come out and like, she's not like, hey, mom, like, they're probably looking out for you. Like, it was a little weird. She seems so sensible, so I'm confused by that, too, because she's been getting in it.
Wait, I have to say, I don't know if any of you grew up with, like, old school kind of parents, but I grew up very old school. I mean, I was not even allowed to, like, have attitude in my voice. And the way she spoke back to her uncle made me twitch.
Cringe.
I had PTSD for her. I was like, something bad's gonna happen. Like, I was
oh my
just
god, her
like,
little, like,
and I do get it. Like, I understand where she's coming from. Like, I think to have a normal conversation about that and be like, listen, you need to stop talking about my dad. Like, that's my dad. Like, understand. But the way she was talking to him, I was like, you're about to get smacked. Like, I was just thinking of, if I ever spoke to my uncle that way, I mean, I think
She's
my
just like my
dad
mother.
would smack the shit out of me. Like, it was just like, it scared the shit out of me, to
I
be
also
honest.
think, just to say, Gia probably grew up quicker than most people.
Right.
And she was literally on TV since, what, she was 5?
So true.
Or something.
100%.
So she's so comfortable doing shit like that, I'm sure, on camera. And she's smart. She knows that makes good TV. I'm sure
That
she
too.
knows.
See, where that's the thing is, like, you're like, we could go back and forth of being like,
Yeah.
oh, Teresa's crazy, and you're like, but it's good TV. And you're like,
Yeah.
oh, but Gia should not, but it's good TV.
Right.
Like, it just goes back and forth.
but now I think she's more like her mother than we realized. Did you guys see her on Watch What Happens Live?
No.
Okay, so he was talking to Teresa about their upcoming wedding and was like, you're getting a prenup, right? And she looks at Louis, and her and Louis are like, why do we need a prenup? And then she asked Gia, who's like the bartender, and she's like, why does she need one? And gives like Andy like an attitude. And I'm like, one, don't give an attitude to Andy. And
That's
two,
a very
like,
valid question.
it's like she has that same sort of like weird hypocrisy
Chip on her
delusion
shoulder.
that like her mom has.
Oh, God. That's literally 101.
It makes me upset.
Especially for a second marriage. Like,
Yeah.
you
True.
already did this once.
She learned nothing.
Like, let's just be careful. And God, exactly. She learned nothing. She's the same Teresa from the beginning.
And let's
She really
be real. He looks like he's successful, but she is a meal ticket to anybody.
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, she has to know that. Everywhere she goes, she can just, like, pour money out. Like, put her name on anything, it's money.
Right.
Like, even if and I hope he's such a wholesome and great guy, but, like, you have to just be like, you have to understand, like, that can get to anybody.
Yeah.
Like, that can go to anyone's head. So this season, Jen, literally, like, episode 1 had quite the opening, I would say, when Margaret kind of spilled the beans about her affair, which apparently wasn't a big deal, but big deal now. Super shocked about that, to be honest. Jen was digging into Jackie, and I would never have thought that there was any problems, because common sense, you don't do that if you're also hiding skeletons. That's what they were all saying to her this whole season. But not gonna lie, I don't think Margaret actually thought that this was a buried secret, because the way she said it was very casual, and I do think she felt really bad, especially the episode where they sat down. But 2, like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What the fuck? The whole story's fucked up. How she was cheated on was fucked up. The way Bill reacted was fucked up. And Jen's reaction was, like, warranted, but also fucked up, because how could you be upset when you did the exact same thing to someone who didn't have problems?
So do you think that's why Margaret brought it up in the sense, like, maybe something happened before the show even started filming that she was like defending Jackie and being like, don't come after somebody else when you know what's going on in your life, and maybe was going to that. And it kind of seemed like in that conversation she was like, don't push it because you know, like she kept like testing and she was like, bring it on. She was like, fine.
I think Margaret knew for years.
Yeah.
Just waited. She's good at her job. She waited until it was a moment when, I don't know.
I think she brought something up at one of the previous reunions, saying that she knew of something or talked about an ex-girlfriend or a girlfriend.
She said a girlfriend comment when they were at that lunch.
At a lunch,
Oh yeah, she goes, oh, whether it's in his girlfriend's bed. She's like, you shut the fuck up with that.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, but even then, like, I see what you're saying, but remember, like, when Margaret was expressing, like, what had happened to her in her past, like, giving them intel on her new book, basically, like, that she was taken advantage of when she was younger, and Jen was like, well, you're a slut, essentially.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh my God,
that?
Yeah, that was disgusting. I think you also just can't judge a situation like that. Just also
Exactly.
being a
It's not
young
as black
woman,
and
especially in business, like feeling intimidated and not understanding boundaries or how to say no, or, oh my God, am I going to lose my job if I say no? I just feel like, and it sounds easier said than done.
100%.
Because you're like, oh, just say no. But like when you're in that moment and somebody's pressuring you or what, you don't know until you're in that moment.
Like the juxtaposition of her judging Margaret about sleeping with her boss when her husband, who's literally a boss, slept with his. The hypocrisy runs rampant in New Jersey. And why do these women keep signing up for this when they know they have so much stuff behind them that you would never want out?
Well, I was going to say that Margaret was brave enough to come forward and share this and, like, express it to the other woman, but Jen just kept this all secret, which I get to protect her family, but now that it's out, she's, like, distraught over it. Or is she distraught over what actually happened, or that it's out and that it can affect her family?
I think because it's out.
And what people are going to think. I think also that's so true. That's a good point. Like, I feel like Margaret on her first season was like, I had an affair. That's how I started my new marriage. Yes, it was fucked up. Yes, I feel terrible about it. I have people who do not speak to me in my life because of this decision. Like, she was so like, these are my flaws.
Yeah.
Which I can appreciate in the way of
she
like,
could go on a show.
right,
The rest
and
of
be
them.
like, yeah, you can say whatever you want about it. Because in a way she was like, I feel terrible about it too, but also like I fell in love and whatever, like the situation was. But I feel like she was so like, here's my baggage, do what you will with it. And I feel like that shows a lot of courage and confidence, and that takes a lot of balls.
Yeah.
Personally,
sure.
that's
Definitely.
I just think Jen in general rubs me the fucking wrong way. Like, she just talks about her house, like, you know, up season 1, like, talks about her house, how much money she has, starts asking Jackie really inappropriate questions about how much money she has, like, instantly becomes butt buddies with Teresa, which we all know why, because Teresa's the face of that show and also has money. I guess that's probably one of her characteristic choices of her friends.
I think Bill's always just like, something's about him is a little off.
Yeah.
I think he also does not give a shit about that show.
Yeah.
Like, I think he's so
Or Jen.
not.
Like, I don't know, which is sad. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know that he cares about
I
Jen
think
that
this
much.
is for Jen. Like, he's doing this for Jen because this is probably, no offense, and like, I do not mean to sound rude. Like, when you're a housewife and you have 5 kids like she does, it's easy to get sucked into just being a mom.
Right.
So
Yeah.
this is her, or this is all of their opportunity to be Jen, to be Teresa, to be Jackie, to be Dolores. Like, it's their own platform, not as moms necessarily, but like as women. And I just think, like, when you get sucked into that world, the drama starts to just...
But joke's on them. Their husbands are more popular than they are.
Yeah.
Everybody loves them.
I have to say my favorite thing about the Jersey franchise is the fact that the husbands have such a
So
strong
involved.
role.
They all have interviews.
Oh my God.
Even Frank.
When they get together for
Frank the
drinks or like
Yeah.
for dinner, I friggin' love it. But it's so true about New Jersey.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I've never been in like Louisiana and met a guy friend group there, but like the Jersey guys being like, yeah, let's meet up on dinner for Friday. Like,
Yeah.
meet up Friday
They're
for dinner.
family. Like, that's how it
Yeah.
started. That's how Jersey started, is their family. Like,
True.
They pick their friends and they're like, this is our family. Like, we're making a family. And I love that. That's such a Jersey thing.
Yeah, I agree.
Who's everybody's favorite house husband?
I think Frank is my favorite. I just would be... I would, like, go drinking with him.
Yeah. I love that there were like no whores, Frank. Like,
Dead.
could you imagine saying that to your dad? Like, yeah, you could move in, but you're not allowed to have like.
Yeah.
Would love to hear more about. I would love a Dolores family spinoff.
Yes,
I'd be so into
I love Dolores.
Her whole family.
Yes,
Amazing.
Also,
like,
she looks
conflicted.
amazing.
Yeah.
Dude, and I love that she admits it. She's like, I bought all of it.
Yeah. Wait, what was she doing about the softball
Yeah.
or something? They were doing an activity, and she was like, "Listen,
This
this
is
was expensive."
And she's like a actual like philanthropist too. Like she's actually like doing like
She's
really.
so charitable.
And she did
Yes.
it before the show. Like it's not because of it. Like she's my favorite.
Joe Gorga has been my all-time favorite forever. I loved him, but Frank is sneaking up on number 2 because he is just hilarious, and he just is like a dad. He's just the typical Jersey dad.
Yeah.
So
He's a
he's
dilf.
number 2. Yeah.
I like weirdly want to say like the crook Joe Giudice. Like I want to live with him in Bahamas. I want to drink with him. I want to like have him cook me dinner. But I can't. He doesn't count.
He'll do pull-ups for you.
Yeah, like I weirdly love his like Instagram personality. I don't even know what's going on. But probably Margaret's husband.
Me too. He's a good combo of like sweet, supportive, funny.
Yeah.
Can hang with the guys. You know, I feel like he's got a good thing going.
And you could tell he really loves Marge, which
Yeah.
is like the best part. Same with Evan. Like I feel like he really loves Jackie. Like
Yes.
their whole thing going on is like breaking my heart. Like
I know.
he just wants to help her, and she's just like won't eat ice cream. I know it's a lot more than that, but like he just like wants to be involved, and she's just
Yeah.
I know. That's
Also,
really hard.
I give her so much fucking credit for putting that on television and
Yeah.
openly talking about things like that. Like, I mean, and I think it's just really eye-opening for like young women who watch the show too, to just like she said, like I needed this kind of voice when I was first starting out with this experience with anorexia and whatever, and she was like, I want to be that voice for somebody else. Like I want someone to know, like, you're not alone, like you're not going through this alone. Like I just think that is so fucking courageous. Like good for her.
well, especially because like I just said, like it's something that I totally do not understand that world. Like it's like
Me neither.
it's hard to like comprehend all that is going into like her simple decisions as eating with her kids.
Right.
Like it's very sad to watch and enlightening.
It's
So-
very real, and I feel like that's sometimes we don't always get when we're watching. Like, yes, we love the drama and we love the good TV, like ladies, but we don't always get like the realness. And I feel like this is something that's real and people can relate to. And at the end of the day, that's why we watch, because we want to relate to it.
Yeah. And speaking of like Teresa and her like not growing, I could totally see her something saying so foul to Jackie when she's pissed off, and bringing something like that up because that's just
At the
she goes
softball
low.
game, she mentions Margaret's ass.
Yeah, that was
And
not
it's
okay.
just-
Not okay.
And like
Yeah.
Tracy, not a fan of, at least not
No.
yet. If she stays, I'll figure it out. If she goes, I won't be upset. But regardless, I actually appreciated Tracy was like, she was fucking body shaming her. Like,
Yeah.
who does that at a charity event? That like we're all there to represent for this organization. Like it's not about us. Like she like brought the drama on the field kind of thing, and like made really ignorant comments. And then Gia's there like laughing.
Yeah.
And Gia lied. Like she in the bathroom said Margaret was just a bitch, and like Margaret didn't do anything.
She really just said, listen, Gia, I support your mom all the time, just not today.
Well, that's another time she's been speaking to an adult, like something we wouldn't do when we were younger, in a disrespectful way. And it's like, oh, are you going to be on the next Housewives?
I could totally see Gia getting like a summer house, but like in like Manasquan or like. Ugh, I would actually love watching like Leggets on TV.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
it
a
would be
really
so
good
fun.
idea.
Yeah.
That's a really good
like
idea.
a summer house spinoff, but in Jersey.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, like the money that's in like Seeger and like all those areas.
Oh, you're giving someone a
Bravo.
really good idea right
Yeah.
You better
now.
copyright that.
Yeah, you better copyright the shit out of that.
I
All
know.
right, what do we think about the affair between Jen and Bill? How do we feel about it? How fucked up was that he cheated on her, basically about to give birth?
Yes.
What the fuck?
I mean, cheating in general, no. Like, go fuck yourself. 2, cheating on your wife that has already 2 or 3 of your children and was 9 months pregnant.
Blown. Mind
I mean,
blown.
but not even are you putting emotional distress on your wife, but you're putting emotional distress on your soon-to-be-born child.
Copy
that
and
blows
Tristan
my
Thompson.
fucking mind. That's selfish beyond any sort of sense I've ever seen. Like, literally, you just put that woman in such distress, and she's carrying a human.
Yeah.
She literally went into birth like 2 days later.
Yeah.
I mean, that had to be through heartbreak as well. Like, that her body was in
Mm-hmm.
such distress. That's insane.
Yeah, and then and I feel for her in the sense of, like, she was talking about how her culture and her mom, really old school, like, men will be men and, like, it's women's jobs to, like, keep them in line. 100% disagree, but I see why her mom sees that, because that was a very accepted culture. So that's got to be so hard, because imagine not being able to tell your mom, and like, or telling your mom and your mom being like, well, you fucked up.
Yeah.
Like,
Awful.
Like, you probably did something wrong to make him go somewhere else.
And I think right now, like, this is Bill's time to be like, I did that. I'm sorry. I messed up. But, like, he doesn't even seem remorseful at all. He's just like, I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Like, can we move on? And just like, and maybe that's him being afraid of, like, the cameras and, like, it being out there, right? He didn't sign up. I mean, he kind of signed up to be on TV, but really
But
his
they
wife
cheated.
Right.
Yeah.
whether it's aired out privately or publicly, you made your bed, you lay in it.
Right.
I agree.
Agreed.
And I think I understand, like, from because he's a surgeon, he's got a reputation here, but from the side of a patient, if he were to react like that as a woman, as a patient, I would respect that.
Right.
So, cheating in general, who's been cheated on this show? Teresa? Jen?
Supposedly
Dolores?
Yeah.
Supposedly Jackie.
Melissa supposedly was a stripper and cheated on Joe.
And Margaret was the cheater. So,
Yeah.
Oh, well, I don't know. Do we count Tracy?
I don't know. Is she a housewife?
I don't know.
I guess we should include her because she's here for whatever reason.
Wait, I saw something online and it was like, you know how it always says Tracy's husband?
Yeah.
Like, it should say Tiki's wife.
Yeah.
We love Tiki.
Yeah,
I
he's the
know.
best.
He's,
Love him.
he's so sweet.
Wait, and I just forgot about this. So I was at like a girls' brunch a couple weeks ago, and the Housewives got brought up because, like, of course they do at a girls' brunch. That's all everybody ever talks about. But this girl who was there, her best friend used to be the nanny of the Judices, whatever. She used to nanny the 4 girls. Her older sister was one of Joe Giudice's multiple mistresses. So it was like a girl who we know for a fact hooked up with
Multiple times.
multiple times. And I was like, was she like on the phone of like, here comes your bitch wife? And they were like, no, that
was
wasn't
just
her.
gonna ask.
And I was like, oh, but like, why was I like disappointed? I like just
Yeah.
wanted to get like more closer to the action.
Right.
But like so messed up. It was somebody that knew them through
Their
the
kids.
girls. And she was like a really young girl.
Oh.
And that's the tea.
Oh, God.
So how do we feel about Tracy? Like, honestly.
I just
how
think-
do we feel about her?
Well, I think she came in really hot and, like, immediately got into family drama, which I was like, whoa. Like,
I think she came in through Melissa, right?
yeah, but
Initially.
either way, like,
But now she's like butt buddies with Margaret, which I don't blame her. I'd be butt buddies with Margaret. But I was saying to them earlier, like, she's getting involved, but just getting involved. Like, she's not taking a stance.
Right.
Like, this was wrong because so-and-so. And she's got some fucking dirty laundry, too.
I'd like a story of her own as well. I feel like she
Yes.
was just making opinions on other people, and I was like, but where's your family and your stuff? Because she's technically not a housewife on this season.
Yeah, she's
Right,
a
I
friend of.
don't
So, I don't know. It was an interesting spin-off. But wait, I'm curious. Who's everyone's favorite housewife?
Dolores.
Margaret.
Dolores.
I'm between Dolores and Melissa.
Oh, I do love Melissa.
I just think she's
Melissa-
glamorous.
Did you watch
is.
the Housewives on the Island, baby?
Yes, she looked amazing.
Melissa was
every
like
day.
the best character in that whole entire
Yes, I agree.
franchise.
And a lot of people say they're like, oh, she doesn't have a storyline. I'm like, but I feel like she's like that really good middle man that's like just fabulous and fun and having a good time. Because if every single housewife was having drama all at the same time, it'd be too much. Like, I just feel like she adds that flavor.
Yeah.
And she does have a storyline with her kids, her husband, her business. Like, I think I'm very like inspired by how she took her name on the show and made her own business and made a name for herself.
Yeah.
And I'm just very inspired
You
by
guys
that.
been to her store?
Yes, I actually, speaking of that, I had to
is-
sign a waiver one day because they were filming.
Oh, wow.
I looked like a I won't even say it. I looked disgusting
I
that day.
went
But
because they were doing a promo, and like me and Jess went to like take our picture with her, and they had cameras there, but I guess it wasn't for the show. We didn't have to sign anything. But super nice. The store is like, it was in Montclair. I think they moved it.
yeah, they just
They
moved it to Ridgefield.
Yeah, so super beautiful. Love the clothes. I got a shirt. I'll bring it out if I have the time. It says, "Bitch, I ride a unicorn."
And Viva Melissa.
And it was like $60. I was like, Melissa, if you're listening for whatever reason, like, come on. Montclair is a college town. I was there to support you. I paid $60 for a t-shirt.
Like, with the unicorn on it.
Yeah, it just said, bitch, I ride a unicorn, which is very relevant because my sorority's mascot was a unicorn, so I thought it was cute. But I bought it, but it like, I didn't eat for a week. Like, come on. You don't need that. You don't need $60 for a t-shirt. Like, come on, humble yourself.
Do you think Melissa could hold her own on Jersey without Teresa?
No.
Like, as much as I love her, I don't think so either.
They're dynamic.
It's Joe.
It's not even that, too. Like, so Teresa's a lot of drama, which is great for TV. Like my little said, Melissa's the mediator. Like, Teresa would survive on her own, but with Melissa and Joe on it, it almost makes her look a little less crazy.
Yeah.
Because, like, that side of the family is well-liked, and they're pretty reasonable, and they're not really immersed in the drama as much.
Yeah.
And I feel like that almost makes her look better. So the dynamic works really well. But yeah, like you said, Melissa would just be like hanging.
But she's had her moments. Do you remember the cheese platter?
Yes!
Yeah.
And then she picked it up. So
Yeah,
she
she
has her moments, and then she like gets it back together.
And she approached Jen in that moment
She
when they
did,
fought.
yeah.
Which, like, I don't blame her, but at the same time, you did approach her. So she can get ratchet.
Sometimes I feel like that stuff's planned, though.
Yeah.
Like, she's like, oh, I'm going to throw this cheese, Teresa style. Yeah. In her face, Teresa style.
And, like, I 100% believe producers have so much to do with some of the drama. Like, they tell the girls shit that, like, either is true, not true. They heard Teresa talking off camera about they 100% whisper in their ears.
Oh, I'm sure.
And text them.
They gotta
I know
make good
they text
TV.
them and say,
And be like, you're not being sad enough or
Yeah.
something. Like,
Well, so this is my theory. Do you guys think that maybe the producers of Housewives dug up stuff about Louis and put it out
1,000%.
to do that? Because that day that they were filming and Teresa got so mad at the producers and said, F this, I'm done. Oh my God, my headphones are falling off. She said, F this, I'm done. Like, I'm done with you guys. Like, I feel like that was more towards the producers than anybody else.
Yeah.
Because I think they fucked her over a little bit.
Well,
Theory. I don't know.
no, because I think the timing of it is way too planned. Because I remember I was like hungover on vacation when I went through all the court documents. It's like
I love that sentence.
12-page, it's a 12-page PDF, and it's all about Louis and his ex, and the drama is like, you can't make it up. It was like so crazy, and it's like honestly hard to follow. And this isn't even the mother of his children; it's just one of his exes. But it came out when I was on vacation, so it was like July. It was like peak filming, and this has been out forever. So why did it come out while they're filming?
Right.
Everybody knows Jersey films in the summer
Right.
because they're all down the shore.
Right.
The timing of it, I think they have to do that.
Yeah,
They
I
have
think
to.
so.
All right, so the bromance. We all love it. We're here for it. We love the husbands. Might want to fuck one of them. Anyway, okay, Bill. Fucked up, didn't back up Jen. But then, does Joe have the right to be mad? Like, they're not best friends because she called him a crook. We all know. I don't believe it, but yeah, like, that's, I don't know. I'd be weird and uncomfortable if I was Bill because, like, what do you do?
Right.
Do you
I
stand
think
up?
Joe is just like his sister, a little hypocrite, delusional. He was so mad, doesn't think of anything that his own sister has done to everybody, or that he has said, or that Melissa has said.
Are you saying when they got kicked out of their house? Yeah. Yeah, that was a hard one. I feel like maybe Joe was just looking for some clarification of being like, listen, so sorry. Like, that was a woman saying, like, we're still cool kind of communication.
Yeah.
And maybe Bill just didn't do that. So he was like, what the fuck? Why'd you let me get thrown out of your house?
Yeah.
But I also don't know them to have, like, a super close relationship that he would expect.
So that's why I was confused why Joe was like, almost like back me up. And I'm like, even if he agreed, which I agree, that Jen said really fucked up things that could sincerely ruin his life's work, like his career, I agree, it's fucked up, but what was Bill supposed to do?
Yeah.
Like, make out with Joe?
I was crying when Bill was like, me and Evan talked, we're all good. And then it's just a text and it's like, we're good. And it's like,
That's such a guy thing. That is such a guy thing.
I like literally like laughed out loud.
Yeah.
And
Wait,
they're
the time when
not.
Evan was at the table and he was like, yeah, get the fuck out of here.
yeah,
I was like,
surprised by Evan.
Yeah, I was like, Evan's hot.
I did the same thing. I was like, good for him.
But I also think, too, like, Bill's wife almost ruined his marriage.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure that there was underlying tension that Evan never brought up because, again, the guys don't get involved between the girls. It's a TV show, but I'm sure that, like, pushed him over the edge.
Oh, yeah.
Because, like, I would be really livid if tables were turned.
Right.
But they keep so hard for Bill and Jen about the Evan and Jackie drama when, like, again, that was Teresa.
Yeah.
Like, why are you so mad at Bill? Why aren't you mad at Joe? You're even closer with, whose sister is, like, actively still trying to, like, bring you down.
Well, we found out that Teresa was more involved than we even thought.
Yeah.
Because Jen was doing her dirty work. But still, Jen should take accountability. She's a grown woman. She still went out and asked those questions. And honestly, I know Jen, two things. She looks dumb for following Teresa and almost like making the drama for herself in the season prior. And two, she looks dumb again because she just threw Teresa under the bus. So it's like, who the fuck are you loyal to?
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I don't trust her at all.
Yeah.
I think Jen and Jackie actually were friends because they're the only ones with, like, young kids left. I guess Melissa too, but, like, their kids were actually, like,
Friendly.
they were getting along. And
I also like the way Jackie will just back people up based on, like, what she feels. Like, she made up with Jen, and then she left with the other girl, and she was like, Jackie, leaving too? She goes, yeah, I think you're an asshole.
Yeah.
she's just straight up, like, if I disagree with what you're doing, I'm gonna stand up for my friend, like, like, kind of person.
She checks Margaret for
She
sure.
does.
I was going to say she is similar to Margaret in that way. Margaret will just say whatever and stand up for what she's thinking. And I feel like they're similar.
And know who doesn't do that, which is always so frustrating, because I love her, is Dolores. Dolores is so quiet when it comes to, like, and she could really be such a sounding board to, like, tell Teresa how it is. And she kind of stays in the background, but I guess because she's a good friend to Teresa, that's the kind of friend Teresa wants.
I think she also just knows she's not gonna reason with Teresa. I
Yeah.
think she just came to a
like,
conclusion
no,
with that.
time.
She
She's
was
known
like,
her for 20 years. She's given up.
yeah, and I think she came in once. What was the situation where she was like, yeah, Teresa's pissed. She was like, she's also mad at you. She's like, she's also pissed at you. She's like, just a heads up.
But yet, I guess it gets to a point where they're like, she's not going to understand where we're coming from anyway, so we're just going to let it be, and it's better to be on her side than to not be on her side.
Yeah.
Well, Dolores fucking freaked out at Jackie.
I know. Yeah.
Or
it's
Jackie
like,
freaked out at Dolores.
Yeah, what
they
was
were
that
both
about?
going at each other because, like, Jackie called out Dolores for being fake, and then Dolores is like, you're going to say that? You're even faker. You said his dick is dirty or something, like, crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, that was weird, and that's where I have conflicting feelings about Dolores, too, because I really liked her in the beginning, especially when it was Dolores and Siggy. I really loved them.
Oh, Siggy.
Where the fuck did she go? Anyway, I really love Dolores, but I agree, like, she's been so adamant about, you guys don't know how to be good friends, you don't know how to be loyal, but she's only loyal and a good friend to one person.
Yeah.
So, like, what does that mean for everybody else? So, I think Melissa once said this, like, Dolores, like, where are you? Like, I need you too. We're friends. Margaret was pissed at Dolores for the Nashville thing because she was going to leave, and she's like, we talk every day. Like, we're close. Why are you doing this? Like, she was wrong in this circumstance. And that's why I like Margaret. Margaret can be like, I love that you're friends with Teresa. I respect it. But she was wrong in that situation. And don't follow her. Like, we're friends too.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know. Like, if you pissed somebody off and you were sincerely in the wrong, I would probably try and deflate the situation. Not just be like, yeah, and, like, walk with you.
Right.
Like,
Well, and then Frank was like, Dolores, we're the host, sit down. And she was like, okay. And
Yeah.
I was like, well, you couldn't do that.
and then Margaret was like, thank you, Frank.
Yeah.
Yeah,
After she's covered in wine.
Yeah.
Oh, my
Thank you.
gosh. Because they all just enabled Teresa because I guess they are scared of her.
100% they enable. I also think they know she is the star of the show.
Yeah.
So
Agreed.
and I'm sure producers almost either tell them directly or somewhat say, like, don't push her too far, because in the sense of
We don't have enough security.
We don't want her to get in so much trouble that she has to be taken off the show, and we also don't want her to leave the show.
Right.
And the more that you don't fix the problem, the show will go on.
Yeah.
I'm sure that all plays a part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just have to say, I think Real Housewives of New Jersey is the best Housewives show out there.
Same.
Yeah.
I just think it's so marketable. It's so interesting. The girls are fabulous. I absolutely love that they drink iced coffee out of wine glasses. It's incredible.
Yeah, that's a vibe.
Huge fan.
Have you? So I recently rewatched from, like, the beginning, and it's a whole wonderful experience. So I would recommend to
That's a
anybody.
commitment.
I did that in
like,
COVID.
I like didn't think I could, and then all of a sudden, like, here I am, and I'm like season 4, and like Gia's crying, and like it's on TikTok, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, everything it's iconic.
It is.
From start to finish,
It
the
really
entire
is.
thing.
Their whole family story is very marketable.
Except the
Yes.
season with those twins. They like kind of sucked.
Oh
But
my
the
god,
rest of
that
them-
was
yeah.
a weird.
The rest of them were good. You
season.
could skip that one.
Yeah, I skipped that whole season to be honest. I don't even know what happened.
Oh my
I
gosh.
really want Caroline Manzo to come back.
Me too.
Yeah.
I
would
love
it.
her.
I would love it.
Because
I
I
love
love
her.
her and Dolores are still. That was one of the fun things is you see Dolores pop up at the Manzo's house like all the time.
Yeah.
In season 1 and 2.
Right.
I was listening to a podcast and she said she's still friends with Caroline and manages the two friendships because Teresa and her hate each other.
Right. Yeah.
And so she just stays in the middle.
And Dina too, because I'm sure she sees Dina all the time.
Right.
Dina was a great
I
housewife.
love
She
Dina.
was.
Yeah.
I actually miss Dina the most, I think. And I
she's
really
beautiful.
loved Jacqueline until she kind of went off her rocker.
Yeah.
yeah.
But I really liked Jacqueline.
Yeah, the originals were really, really good.
Yeah.
I'm kind of vibing with the season we have now, though. Like, I think Margaret is a great asset to the show. Like, I think there's, like, really... I just think they're all so glamorous and fabulous. And I keep saying that, but I really do feel like they each have something very unique about them. And it comes off just
And they
so
keep getting
great.
better and cooler.
Yes.
Like, and funnier.
All right. Well, that is our spiel. Spiel? What the fuck is that
Spiel?
word? Spiel?
Spiel.
Let me know what that word is. Whatever it is. That's our wrap on our... We'll do a part 2 if people are liking this podcast. We'll come back and chat maybe about the reunion and everything.
I
Oh my
want to do
gosh,
that
yes.
in general. It can
Yes.
either be recorded for the podcast
or
on
just
our
a
couch.
chat over coffee. So if you guys like this, let us know. Comment, DM us, whatever. Let us know if you love it, hate it, disagree with us, agree with us. Thanks so much for tuning in. Also, another shout out. Can you say that?
Pain.
We're so sorry, we're not French, but we love the coffee. Thank you to our guests today. You guys are
so
great.
happy to have you
Yeah,
guys.
it's so
Back.
fun.
I loved it.
Yeah, we're for the reunion. You guys are coming back.
We're doing it again. So thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you guys on the next episode.
Goodbye.